Watch the second season of Classroom of the Elite. The show starts off with the kids still on the cruise from last season, and another exam has taken place. The exam has some students from each class involved in the exam. Basically, there's a VIP. All the students must meet twice a day to have a discussion to figure out who the VIP is. And I'm going to be honest, I had to rewind this a couple of times because the instructions of the game confused me. The point system threw me off. If you guess the VIP, you get a lot of points. If you don't, then you lose a lot of points. But the real focus to start out the season is Kai Karuizawa. I don't know. I can't. These freaking Japanese names, man. She starts getting harassed by these girls from Class C because they think she upset one of their friends. They accuse her of shoving her, I believe. They try to get a picture of her. Some kid from Class A steps in and stops it. Kanoji is just standing in the background, just analyzing and plotting for his next move. 3 separate occasions, the girls from Class C continue to harass Karuizawa. First time they tried to get the picture. Second time they corner her, start pulling her hair, and begin to make her cry. Kanoji is watching, still analyzing the situation, and I'm trying to figure out what the hell he could be looking at. Third time, Kanoji sets up Karuizawa, messages Manabe, who was one of the chicks from Class C, the leader, and gets Karuizawa in the boiler room of the ship. He played her thinking she was going to meet someone else. Why would you even go down there anyway? But whatever, she's a teenager. The girls from Class C go down to the boiler room as well. They bring the girl who Karuizawa apparently bullied, pull her hair some more, and begin to slap her over and over. It was pretty brutal. Kanoji once again is just watching. Also, Karuizawa acts like she's tough and mean-spirited. She isn't. She has a past of being bullied that she doesn't want anyone to know about. Her relationship with the kid, who sounds like he's sad all the time, is fake. Karuizawa only got with him because he promised her that he would protect her. She considers herself to be a parasite that uses people to protect her. I didn't really understand the whole parasite thing, but after the whole, slapping, a whole session ended between Class C and Karuizawa. I'm sorry, she's not a hoe. Kanoji shows up, tells her to spread her legs. Yes, spread her legs. As a test to see if she would do it, because she's weak to sum it all up. He knows about her being bullied, blackmails her into helping him with his plans throughout the season. He does promise to protect her. Oh, and she was the VIP. Yay. After they finally get off the cruise ship, we transition into another exam that involves each class competing in these performance events. That involves contests such as track and races that involves 2 people with their legs being tied together. With this transition, we also transition into one of the most irrelevant characters of all time, Kikyo Kushida. Class C is kicking the crap out of Class D during the contest. There's suspicion that Class C got a hold of the roster that Class D was going to use. Class C picked the right matchups for their class. Kanoji calls out Kushida. Kushida plays dumb with that "I'm so damn happy all the time" act. Kanoji is like, "You're full of shit, stop playing." Then she admits it, and she says that she will not only get Suzune expelled, but him also. After the race, Suzune meets up with Ryuen and Kushida. Suzune tells Kushida that she recognizes her from middle school. Kushida's real side comes out again. She tells Horikita that she wants to expel her from the school due to the fact that she knows about her past. Ryuen gets an email from a unknown individual, finds out that someone from Class C is the traitor, and spoiler alert, it was Manabe and the other girls. So up until this point, I'm not really hating the show. It's alright, I'm not hating it. As the show goes on, Horikita's brother steps down from the student council. Horikita talks to Kanoji about Kushida's past, mentioning that she was sitting in a classroom by herself and it was destroyed. Later on, Horikita and Kushida make a bet that whoever gets the better score on this math test, Kushida will leave Suzune alone, or Horikita will be expelled and have to leave the school. But before the test, Kushida tells Suzune and Kanoji about her past, and once she told it, I immediately lost interest in this character once again. Back when she was younger, she wanted attention. She loved being in the spotlight, but as time went on, nothing she did would help get her noticed. So she started being everyone's friend, helping them out, just kissing ass. But that wasn't working, so she started to blog and vent and talk shit about the other students. Eventually, the other students figured it out. It was her. They turned on her and began to yell and scream. Kushida felt betrayed. So sorry. Kushida felt betrayed by the backlash, then proceeds to tell the other secrets about the other students. The students turn on each other, which leads to why the classroom got destroyed. I thought it was stupid. This is the reason why she is so cynical and psychotic, because she likes attention and she'll do anything to get it. Freaking becoming an Instagram hoe. I was actually getting invested in this character when she finally was getting some attention in the show. I enjoyed seeing her switching in and out of her personalities, seeing more of her devious side. Kushida tries to cheat by swapping out the class's question sheet for this exam called the paper shuffle. Class C gives her a copy of their question sheet, but Horikita anticipated her move and got Sai to only accept the question sheet that would be given by the class rep. Also, if anyone decided to give her another question sheet, she would pretend to accept it and then wait for that person to leave and then shred it after it would be given to her. Aikanoji's father shows up, tells him that he's going to try and bring him back to the White Room. Basically, very awesome name. I'm being sarcastic, but whatever. It's a room, it's white. The kids are dressed in white, so I guess it makes sense. It makes sense. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be some fancy name. Also told him that someone committed suicide when he escaped. His father doesn't know why he chose to enroll in this school. When Kanoji leaves, Sai is standing outside of the office. Kanoji tells her what she was up to all along. He knew that she didn't know his father. She was trying to get to Class A but didn't have the right students to do it. She purposefully put Kanoji in her class. He also mentions that he is no longer her pawn, so there you go, yet another person trying to get into Class A. So let's jump to the ending. Ryuen and the rest of Class C confronts Class D. He's trying to find out who's been messing with his class. He confronts Koenji. They're about to get into it, but Arisu from Class A intervenes. She begins to insult Ryuen. He gets pissed, tries to kick her, jumps in the air, attempts some flying kick. One of her henchmen blocks it. Later on, Ryuen and his minions take over the construction site that was somewhere behind the school. They spray paint the cameras and the temperature drops while they're in there. Ryuen sends Karuzawa a message, I guess to threaten to expose her past of being bullied. I don't know. I just, whenever I kept hearing that, I was just like, whatever. So she got bullied, so what? Ryuen wants to know who the mastermind is behind the events that's been happening in the school. He begins to torture her by waterboarding her. He pours water on her, possibly giving her hypothermia. Karuzawa is feeling as if Aikanoji is going to abandon her, and not only that, she develops feelings for him throughout the season. Kanoji shows up, spoiler alert, like you didn't see that coming. Now remember when I said Ryuen tried to hit Arisu with a flying kick? Well, I was expecting a way better fight than what I saw. I'm thinking Ryuen can fight like Kanoji or Akita. No, he fights like some Street Fighter or one of those random bums that you see on the internet. He's pressing Kanoji up against the wall, and while he has him up against the wall, he's talking about fear and why he doesn't fear it. He has no fear. He's punching him and kneeing him and elbowing him, and it doesn't work. Kanoji overpowers him and begins to ground and pound him. He beats him over and over again. After that, he's air quote consoling Karuzawa. He says this will do. Fast forwarding even more, Karuzawa gets Kanoji a birthday present. He also got her some cold medicine. She thinks that he was concerned about her, and as they're walking back to the dorms, Aikanoji is telling to himself that everything went according to plan. Cut communication off from her during the season. Then he didn't speak to her, giving her a sense of abandonment, and then came to save her from Ryuen when she was about at her breaking point, which will make her very dependent on him. After they leave each other, Arisu shows up, mentions that he is the ultimate masterpiece of the White Room, but really just a fake genius, that she'll try to bury him. He welcomes the challenge. Once again, another ending that you could possibly say was the best part of the show. My overall score for this season is a 7 out of 10. It's still in the decent range, but it's a high decent score. Last season I gave it a 5 out of 10, still a decent grade, but a lot of that has to do with Ryuen and Aikanoji, mostly Aikanoji, which is perfect I guess because he is the main character. I enjoyed the back and forth between Ryuen and Aikanoji. I didn't really too much care for Ryuen during season 1 because I just thought he was just a straight up dick, but this season I thought he was a good villain. I didn't hate him. And as far as Aikanoji goes, he is like the best part of this show. Probably like the only best part of this show. I love how he's constantly calculating, thinking ahead to achieve whatever he's trying to accomplish. And there were points throughout the season where I was thinking, okay, maybe he's starting to kind of warm up a little bit because he joined some study group. You know, it looks like he was making friends and the other students were congratulating him after the race that he had with Manabu. And I'm thinking he's starting to kind of maybe turn a leaf here. No, he's still looking at people as pawns and sort of like playthings to him. He's still using people. He's still using people. And he's so calm and ruthless and calculated. There's this girl that liked him after the race. She admitted that she likes him and they went on a double date with Karuzawa and her fake boyfriend. They're walking back to the dorms alone and she asks him, did you have fun because I didn't see you smiling? And Kanoji says in his mind, it's not like I can't smile, you just don't give me a reason to smile, so I'm not going to waste the energy. And it was kind of like, damn, because she really likes him and she seems sweet, but he's just ruthless. And as for Karuzawa, everything that they did together. You know, he was just using her, and he could care less that I'm pretty sure he knows that she probably likes him, and he could care less about that. So Ai Kanoji is the reason as to why, for me at least, this show has some entertainment value. Outside of him, I mean, the other characters pretty much suck. What does Shira bring to the show besides her cleavage, along with the rest of her? What does she bring besides being eye candy? Nothing. And after the first season ended, I wanted to know more about her because she seemed a bit more interesting to me. I want to know more about her background and see how she acts. I wanted her to get some more spotlight in the story. Kushida, she sucks. Ken Sudo, all he does is scream and yell. It's just not that good of a show. Outside of Kanoji, there's nothing that gets me excited, to be honest. And not only that, it's kind of hard to keep up, you know, the whole point system and the exams. I had to rewind not only that first exam a couple times, but some of the other stuff again. So the show is kind of hard to keep up with. It can be complicated, or maybe I'm just a moron, who knows. But yeah, I just, outside of Kanoji, I know I keep saying this, but outside of Kanoji and Ryuin, because I enjoyed him during this season, what else was there to be excited about? For me, nothing. 7 out of 10, I give this show, mainly because of Ai Kanoji and Ryuin, especially Ai Kanoji. And of course, some of the characters still look like walking, talking Christmas lights. Some of them are so shiny and colorful. And hopefully going into the third season, which I'm assuming there's going to be a third season because they said next third season when the show ended. Hopefully the battle of wits, or the battle of minds, between Ayana Koji, I just realized that I was saying his name wrong throughout the entire review, but whatever, Ayana Koji and Arisu lives up to the expectations. Hopefully that's going to be good. I would imagine it's going to be good. That's the only thing that I'm going to be excited about. So please like and subscribe. I do anime content, news, reviews. That is it. I am out.